Hello everybody and welcome to this week's Markets to Watch from Smack the Markets for the week commencing the 22nd of June. So the big question this week really sits on the risk desk, I think, this morning. Are the markets going to focus on the increase in coronavirus cases that are spreading through the US and now in Germany as well? Or is it going to focus on the government's attempts now to ease the lockdowns and get businesses back to work? So two big sort of questions there, and depending upon which way the markets focus and which bit of news the markets focus on, obviously is going to impact on the general risk sentiment for the markets. Let's take a look at a few markets here that we're keeping an eye on and some of the possibilities that we're looking at. So we've come across to the Dow first of all. This is the Dow futures contract. Take a look at where this has been sitting here. Now, really for the past week, the market has just sort of been treading sort of sideways here, as you can see, after the sort of sell off the week before. We've had this sort of bounce. Now the market sort of pulled back into 25,200, and we've seen a bit of a bounce off that level this morning. Now 25,200 has been quite a significant level for us in the past. So if we just come down to the lower time frames here at the 4-hour time frame, we can see the 25,200 price point here that the market's sort of found support at, and now the market's rallied back up, and in overnight trade last night the market's now managed to push above 25,500 and starting to make some sort of retracement here. Now we are in this sort of trading window at the moment from 25,500 up towards that sort of 26,000 sort of price point. But having said that, the sort of general trajectory here does tend to be to the short side here with these lower highs. As I mentioned, depending upon the which bit of news the markets wish to focus on really sort of depends on, you know, whether we get a continuation to the short side or we get sort of continued optimism with the easing of those lockdowns. Now we may well start to see maybe a push. If the bullish momentum continues, we may well start to see a continued push up towards that 26,000. But I think that 26,000 area will certainly be a significant decision point here, as you can see there through the markets there. So if we come back through here, our the main way we trade these at the moment, certainly the way these markets are looking at the moment, is very much intraday opportunities. You can come down here to the 60-minute chart, and you can see even at the moment here, the market's pulled up to an intraday level around that 25,750. So we've got decision points all over the place here, you know, above 25,750. We may well get a quick move up here towards that 26,000 sort of price point, but we are sitting around that sort of resistance area at the moment. So if we come and take a look at gold here, and we can see that gold has finally managed to break out of this sort of range that it's been sort of stuck in for quite some time. So it's managed to get above the 1750 price point, and now we're starting to see a bit of a retracement here. But you can see 1750 is quite a level through on this market. In fact, there's two levels, one around 1750, and on the lower time frames we will see another level around 1760. So at the moment here we've got strength in momentum in the markets. We've certainly still got the start of a long trend here formulating, and we've got support underneath the market here. So if we come to the 4-hour time frame, again we can see our 1750 level here and our 1760 price point as well. Both were very well tested structure points in the market, and here on the 4-hour time frame we can start to see that we've got the start of a long trend forming. So for me here the question is the market going to sort of be able to push above 1760, and we're going to be able to find support around that area? It's too close to 1760 to look at opportunities for me before that level, but after that, if we can get above there, then we may well start to look for continued sort of opportunities to the long side. And I think certainly at the moment we could be looking up here towards 1780 and then possibly up here towards that sort of 1800 at the extension here. If the market can't hold above 17 or can't get above 1760 and hold it, then we may well be getting a deeper retracement here. And if we get underneath 1750, that really sort of brings the market back into this sort of sideways sort of consolidation sort of area that it's been stuck in for some time. So keeping a close eye on those levels on the gold market. Now, if we come over to the currency markets, one market here that I think is looking sort of quite interesting, possibly at some sort of areas here of some inflection points, is Cad Swiss. So if we have a look at this on the monthly chart, you can see that where the market is at the moment is pulled down, pushed down to make new lows, fresh lows, and now rejected it, sort of pulled back up. And you can see that there is a bit of a level through here where the market sort of tested these sort of lows a number of times before. Now, if we come down to the weekly chart, you can see here on the weekly, we can see the rejection of these lows down here evident within these sort of candle styles. And then we started to get a rather sort of messy sort of trend formulating, volatile trend formulating to the long side. Now, at the moment, the market's just sort of consolidating into some sort of fairly sort of narrow ranges sort of forming here on the weekly. Come down to the daily time frame and you can start to see a few levels within this sort of structure. So we've got around 68. We can see that the market sort of found support here, again at 69, which has been quite a level through here where the market's found resistance and support a number of times. And more recently, over the past few trading days, you can see that around this sort of 69.80 price point where the market's just been consolidating above that level. So we've clearly got a good decision point here, and if the market can hold above this area, then we may well start to be getting a move to the long side, and there's some sort of decent distance to the long side. If we don't, well then it looks like we may well be sort of testing that 69 again, and then possibly underneath 69 down to that sort of 68 price point. If we come down the time frames and take a look at this on the 4-hour time frame, again you can see this level around sort of 69.80. Again, here on the 4-hour, you can see it's been very well tested before and now sort of potentially acting as support. So I'm keeping an eye on this. I mean, this could be a nice area for a swing stop underneath this sort of low here. Again, at this moment, we're looking for a development here of, or continued evidence of bullish action here, and some sort of entry. But we've got possible first targets up here towards the 70 area, just above that sort of 70, sort of 69 area here, underneath this support and resistance structure in the market. So there's a few markets there that we're keeping a close eye on going into the beginning of this week. I certainly hope it helps and look forward to speaking to you next time. Bye for now.